Hello and welcome back to the Home Start Surrey podcast show. My name is Gemma Whitehouse and today with me I have Lisa from Home Start East Surrey and she is the Family Support Coordinator. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming along today.
Pleasure.
So, I'd like to start at the very beginning. How did you first hear about Home Start?
I first heard about Home Start when I had small children of my own, and then I became a Home Start volunteer once my girls got a little bit older. And then many years later, I was very lucky to see a job advertised, and I applied, and that's how I got the role of Family Support Coordinator.
Oh, well, there you go. I did not know that.
Well, there you are.
Can you remember when you became the volunteer, what was it that made you become a volunteer?
Because I knew that my parenting journey had been quite tricky and quite lonely, having family in a different country, and I just wanted to connect and help other families that might be finding that journey quite lonely or quite challenging.
Right, and so that's often the case, is that volunteers end up working for Home Start.
That's true.
As that happened to me as well.
That is true, yes.
Yeah, and how many years were you a volunteer for?
Just 2 years, because then my work pattern changed and I just didn't have capacity to do the volunteering. But very happy. Yeah, worked with a few families.
And was that East Surrey or was that a different one?
Yes, it was East Surrey when they were based then in Reigate. We're based in Redhill now.
Yes.
So it was many years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how long have you been the Family Support Coordinator
It will
for?
be 4 years in September of this year.
Wow. So hang on, let me do the math on that. Was that during COVID?
It was quite surreal. I interviewed on Zoom, got offered my job and started my job on working from home.
Right.
So it was quite an unusual experience to apply for a job during COVID and then work hybrid from home and not being in the office. So it was great when restrictions lifted and we could all get back in and connect with each other. But
I bet, because it's a great setup you've got here.
Yes, yeah.
You're very lucky.
We're a small team, but we're a great team, yeah.
Yeah, and so that was 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And how have you found it then, since we came out of lockdown and you were able to come in the office?
Well, it was much better because during lockdown, we could only offer our families phone support when the heavy restrictions were in place. Then we gradually moved to being able to do some walk and talks. So that worked a bit better so that the volunteer could actually see the family and socially distanced walks in the park. And then we fortunately got back to a situation where we could go back into the homes, and because that is where the support, that's where it works best, you know. We worked around it. It wasn't perfect, but we made the best of a difficult situation. So
yes, and how have you found it since COVID, with the number of people that are coming forward to volunteer?
The number of people who, yes, we have had people coming through to volunteer because they're more aware of what happened during COVID and that real national need to help your community and give some time to help those less fortunate. So there just seemed to be quite a lot of people more in that mind space of what can I do, what's going on in my area, what do I want to do, how can I give back, what is the need. So we did do a couple of prep courses for our volunteers during when we had still some restrictions in place. We did one course half on Zoom and then half socially distanced in a hall, and we had quite what I would call healthy numbers, 10, 12 people on the course, which is what we would really love.
That is the ideal.
That is the ideal, to have 10 or 12 people, because naturally sometimes people drop out for different reasons. Unfortunately, those numbers have dropped in more recent times. Some people think that's because of the cost of living crisis. People are working longer, maybe don't have enough time, or maybe doing childcare for their own children, grandchildren. So we have seen a bit of a dip, but however, the people that we've still managed to source have been fantastic, albeit the numbers less.
Yes. Yeah, because it takes a certain type of person to be a Home Start volunteer.
Absolutely.
Kind of just got to get it.
You've just got to get it. It's quite unique. Well, it is unique. It's a very unique role. You've got the privilege of going into somebody's home, into their safe space, and walking that journey with them, and just being kind, helpful, not judgy, just helping them really find their own solutions along the way, but being by their side. And that's why families love us, because they feel that we are helpful. We're not coming in and telling them what to do as such. We're coming in and saying, what can we do? What do you need? What can we do to help today?
I know it really is this. They've been sent an angel from the heavens.
It is, yeah. I had just on that note, I had lovely feedback from a family recently, and she said, I cannot put into words, the ethos of what you do just runs through your service. To have somebody come into my home and not make my life harder, but actually make it easier was just so different.
It's priceless.
Yeah.
Absolutely priceless.
Yeah, it's very unique.
Yeah.
It's very unique.
I think the problem that we have is that not everyone's heard of Home Start.
I would agree. We want, in the ideal world, it would be lovely if everybody heard of Home Start as they've heard of any well-known brand, a Kit Kat bar or the Beckhams or whatever you want to, compare. We feel that even on our home turf here in the East Surrey area, we're often not known about. And when people do know about us, they're always amazed that they didn't know about us. And we're kind of like a bit of a hidden jewel, a hidden gem.
Yeah.
But we are here. And we just need to get the word out, because what we're doing is incredible.
I mean, no one can deny it. When you explain it to people, I find that everyone is like, oh, wow, that is amazing. Of course, you can put a leaflet up in my shop.
Yes.
Sort of thing.
Yes.
And how do your families find you?
Me personally?
As in,
how
does a family in Reigate or Red Hill, how do they tend to get referred?
Oh, I see. How do they come to us?
Yeah.
By and large, they come in through health visitors, could be perinatal mental health team. It can be homeschool link worker school, can be their GP. A variety of sources, or they can self-refer. On our website, there is a form where they can self-refer in for help. So they may see a poster about us, they may hear on the grapevine, why don't you try Home Start? And that's how they come to us.
And do you find that the numbers are skewed so that you've got more families coming forward for help than you do have volunteers?
Yes, we have a steady trickle of referrals coming in, because the need's not going to go away. And as we see cuts in other services and everybody, looking for the same pots of money to continue their services, there's all these people that still need help. So the need for help isn't going to go away. So there is a steady trickle in, and sometimes it goes a little bit quiet. But that, for instance, after Christmas, it picks up again.
Yeah.
After the summer holidays. So in terms of the ratio of families coming into the capacity of the volunteers that we've got that we can match, it can sometimes be that we're waiting for volunteers to finish with a family before we can move them to another family. But we really, really don't like our families to have to wait, because if they've come needing help, it's hard to make somebody wait if they need something, because they need it now.
Yeah.
And that can cause more problems if they're just left unsupported. So luckily, we tend to be in a situation where if we're going out to visit a family for the first time, we know that there's a family that's closing support soon. So it's quite a fluid transition, family completing support, another one starting up. But occasionally we have had to just press pause on a family for a couple of weeks. But we do like to move as quick as we can.
Yeah, because I know that East Surrey is fairly unique in that it is a strict 6 months.
We do,
that you
yeah. We
offer.
offer up to 6 months.
Yeah.
We find some of our families don't need 6 months. Some of them may say a couple of months in, do you know, I'm in a better place now and I feel that I can do it. And maybe there's another family that could benefit from the support that I've had. Or sometimes there's just a big change to their circumstances. They move, for instance. So, yes, we do offer up to 6 months. But we are aware that other schemes...
I know, yeah, different home starts do it differently. And that's what's quite nice about it, really, is that, you know, different home starts have their different ways of doing things. But ultimately, we will have the same
rolling
goal.
out the same support.
Yeah. Which is obviously in the home with the families. So day to day, what does your actual role involve?
My role involves supporting the families that are in my caseload, supporting the volunteers that I have matched to those families. I run a group every Tuesday over at the Mole Valley Family Centre, which is in Dorking. That's for mums who've been invited to the group. It's an invite-only group. It's a safe place. They get referred in by local health visitors or by the family centre. They're families that the family centre are working with. I do that on a Tuesday morning. I do visits to homes. I do review visits. I've just started up an Instagram for ourselves.
Exciting.
And collaborative work within the team.
So
a lot of different things.
Yeah, so it's nice and varied.
Yeah, it's varied. When families close, I might be doing a case study, writing up feedback, because our manager needs to report on the bigger picture for funding and for reporting. So it's helpful for her to have case studies of people that we've recently supported and then closed support with.
Yes, because funding is another issue for all charities at the moment.
It's just an ongoing. It's just ongoing, and everyone's chasing the same money. And yes, to keep our work going, we do need money. So it's kind of getting our name out there even more as well.
Yes.
So that people do value us and do think, oh, actually, yeah, we should be giving them money. We should be putting something into their pot.
Yeah, so the aim really is to just spread the word so that everyone in Surrey knows about Home Start.
Everyone knows us, and that when they hear the word Home Start, they immediately know who we are, what we do.
Yeah, so for example, any local businesses, any schools or anything, I mean, they often have a charity of the year, don't they?
They do. And we often find that local golf clubs, they will support charities. Sometimes there are particular charities, that they're charities of the moment that seem to command more what's the word I'm looking for? Attention, at that time. So everyone might know about a particular charity. But we certainly would welcome any sponsorship from corporate companies, anybody really that would be willing to sponsor us. We have our annual gala. We're busy preparing for Run Reigate in September.
Ooh, okay.
So any money towards that would be most welcomed,
So tell us about Run Reigate.
Well, Run Reigate, it's our first time participating. We very fortunately have a volunteer on our team who is in a running club. Ooh. So she has enlisted the help of her...
Shout out to the running club. Do you know the name?
I don't.
Okay.
I think it could be Reigate Runners.
Okay, Reigate Runners, yeah.
It could be Reigate Runners. I'll have to find out.
Yeah.
But she has enlisted their support, and we thought, well, that would be a great opportunity to raise our profile.
Definitely.
And raise some more funds whilst people run and do what they do.
And do you know the distance?
There are different races that I think, as far as I know, there's a 5K, a 10K, there's a children's race. So it is our first time doing it. So we're on new territory. We're going to have a stall. We will be there offering hopefully little treats and goodie bags, and for the public that have come to watch, for the spectators.
And do you know the date? Or should we add it to the show notes?
We'll add it to the show notes. It's September. It's Sunday, September the 22nd, I'm going to say. Yeah.
We'll add it on the show notes. It's fine. Because my ears are pricking up because I'm a runner, you see.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, might have to come along.
Well, we were approached by another person, and one of my colleagues, coordinator, she talked about the Run Reigate, and that's where it kind of evolved from. And then our other volunteer that I mentioned, who has links to that running club, she's come.
So will people pay an entry fee and automatically some of it gets donated?
Well, our understanding at the moment is that the main of the people who are going to be running for us have already paid their own fee, so we've got a little bit of a head start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Which is amazing, which is a win for us.
Amazing.
So hopefully we're hoping it's something that we can do every year.
Yeah, definitely.
This is the first year, but onwards and upwards.
Exciting. Okay, so lastly, before we close, I just wanted to say, what would you say to somebody who is thinking of volunteering for East Surrey?
Do it. Do it. You will not look back. You will wonder why you hadn't done it before. You will thoroughly enjoy it. You will be well supported, and the impact that your time will make, I cannot begin to put into words. You will truly be making a difference.
Oh, I love that. Making a difference. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for coming and chatting to us today.
Thank you for having me.
Really enjoyed it. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, Gemma.
As always.
Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.